They say love should make you feel safe, supported, and seen. But what happens when it slowly starts to feel like walking through a storm? Toxic relationships don't always start toxic. They often begin with intensity, affection, and the illusion of something rare. Psychologists describe this as love bombing, a manipulative stage where one partner floods the other with praise, attention, and grand gestures to gain emotional control. It feels euphoric at first, but soon, the same person who once made you feel special begins to make you question your worth. The first sign of a toxic partner is emotional manipulation disguised as care. They may guilt trip you for needing space, twist your words in arguments, or play the victim so that you're always the one apologizing. Studies in emotional abuse show that this constant confusion leads to cognitive dissonance, a state where your brain tries to reconcile two opposing truths, the person you love and the pain they cause. The second sign is control. Toxic partners don't always demand control openly. They do it subtly. They may monitor your texts, question your friends, or make suggestions that isolate you from your support system. The American Psychological Association notes that emotional isolation is one of the strongest predictors of long-term relationship distress. Control isn't love, it's fear wrapped in affection. The third sign is constant criticism. They chip away at your confidence, sometimes masked as jokes or honesty. Over time, you start to internalize those remarks and shrink yourself just to keep the peace. Clinical psychologists link this to learned helplessness, where the victim stops believing they can change the situation or even that they deserve better. The fourth sign is a lack of empathy. Toxic partners often invalidate your feelings or dismiss your emotions as overreactions. You might hear things like, "You're too sensitive," or "You always make everything about you." Narcissistic traits often show up here. They crave admiration but offer no emotional reciprocity. The fifth sign is the cycle of chaos and calm. One day they're loving, the next they're cold or distant. This push and pull dynamic creates what psychologists call trauma bonding, a powerful emotional attachment formed through repeated cycles of reward and punishment. It's the same mechanism that keeps people addicted to gambling. The unpredictability of when you'll get that next high of affection keeps you hooked. The sixth sign is they drain your energy emotionally, mentally, and even physically. You might find yourself constantly exhausted, anxious, or walking on eggshells to avoid conflict. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships shows that emotional exhaustion is one of the earliest warning signs of toxic dynamics. You might notice that your sense of self, your hobbies, your laughter, your spark begins to fade. The final sign is you've stopped recognizing yourself. Toxic partners often rewrite your story until you can't tell where you end and they begin. You start questioning your reality, doubting your memories, and apologizing for things that weren't your fault. This is called gaslighting, a manipulation tactic meant to make you dependent on their version of truth. That here's the hardest truth. Toxic love doesn't heal you, it empties you. But once you name it, you start to reclaim your power. Healing begins with awareness, recognizing that love built on control, fear, or confusion isn't love at all. True love doesn't make you smaller. It helps you grow. That if any of this feels familiar, it's not your fault. You're not too sensitive, too emotional, or hard to love. You were simply giving your best to someone who couldn't meet you there. You deserve calm after the chaos, honesty after confusion, and a love that feels like peace, not survival. If this video spoke to you, make sure to subscribe and follow for more weekly psychology-based content about relationships, healing, and emotional growth. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel seen and supported. Remember, true healing begins the moment you realize you deserve better.